Welcome to There Can Be Only Fun, a podcast where you can come to think about Highlander and maybe talk about it. Three boys will right now.
Yay!
Three boys
Three
will.
boys, yes. It's exciting. My name is Greg. I'm sitting with Dan and Casey. Hello.
Yeah, you are.
I'm the third boy.
You are the third boy today. Today, boy
I
three.
am the third boy.
This is very exciting.
Quaid.
Fan uproar, terrible reviews, a backstory that could not possibly have been the only option. A villain motivated by something. There can be only one episode about
that villain
two
was
versions
motivated
of one movie.
That villain was motivated by nothing but pure joy.
Yeah.
He's having a great time. I just want to drive a subway.
Yeah. Hey kid, you want to drive a subway? Yeah, me too.
I'm feeling a lot of feelings about Highlander 2, and I'm excited to talk about it.
So we are discussing at this moment, in this episode we will do both, but right now we're the theatrical release of Highlander 2, The Quickening, and then we will delve into, after we watched it, we haven't yet, we're going to watch the Renegade version, and then we're going to switch over to that halfway through this episode.
Mm-hmm.
One episode for two versions of one movie.
A little double your fun.
Double your single.
Yeah. Now, this came out in 1991, and the team came back. It's like same director.
Yeah. We got the band back together on this one.
Yeah.
And I saw this in the theater.
Hell yeah.
I did not remember anything other than the overwhelming disappointment I felt at the time. And like anger. I think everyone was angry. There was a lot of anger. And then
I love it. I love that.
Were they angry because this movie's so fucking stupid?
Yes.
Was that was the breadth of the anger?
Not just that, but it's like the way it's stupid. It's like it's too stupid because Highlander is a little stupid.
Oh hell yeah!
Highlander is wonderfully stupid.
This is when this started, I was watching it and I'm like, I can't quite remember like what the beginning was very rich in my mind. And when it's just like he's all right, so he's like a scientist now. I don't recall him having any like scientific background. Just because you've been alive for a long time doesn't make you a genius.
Doesn't make you a scientist.
but whatever, fine. He's gonna fix the ozone with his Earth shield, and I was like, well, I don't know. This isn't so bad. Like so
I was like, holy shit, this is pretty fucking awesome.
He's having a future adventure.
Yeah.
There's stuff in this thing that I really dug. That's why I mean it's an endearing mess, but I'm showing my hand. I guess that's what we did the first time. I guess we'll give initial impressions right off the bat, and I will go first. There's a lot in this thing that I really did enjoy, but by the end of it, I was like, dude, fuck off.
This is a long hour and a half.
Really? It's only like an hour and like
25 minutes.
It's so short.
I thought that compared to the first, when this movie ended, I was like, whoa, that went by fast because it is so short.
I don't know. That last 25 minutes was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah. I did find my feeling with it was watching. I'm like, well, this isn't bad. Just because it's not, the 80s, whatever. But then when we get the very abrupt jump into unnecessary, they're from another planet backstory.
Hell yeah.
That's a whole lot of what?
No, listen. That's not unnecessary. It's entirely necessary. Yeah, I was like, where did they come from? Why is this contest? They have a contest for who can not be immortal anymore, but then just cut off your own fucking head.
Yeah.
I was like, why are they doing this? And then to find out that it's an ironic punishment on the planet Zeist or whatever.
Zeist.
Yeah.
Zeist.
Listen.
The planet Zeitgeist.
Yeah. So I also don't wholeheartedly love this in the same way that I didn't wholeheartedly love the first one. The first one I had issues with because of how long it was. But I will say that I liked this about as much as the first one in very different ways, but I can't not respect a movie. Like there's two things that I love in this world, and that's one of the things is like when people have to come up with ideas and they just come up with like the most ideas. Like they're really like trying to figure out how do we make a sequel to Highlander, and they pick the most choices you would never ever think of picking.
There is nothing I love more in cinema than misguided, intense enthusiasm.
And you get that here, and you also get you also get like just
bird bros.
you get bird bros, but you get like a very like dog-headed like I'm not just gonna make Highlander again, and I'm gonna go so out of my way to not make Highlander again that I'm gonna like make some fucking decisions. And I love that about this movie.
So now for those of you, maybe you need a recap to understand what's going on in the first few minutes. Is we have old Connor McLeod. The ozone layer is
at this point he's no longer Connor McLeod, and he has become Vigor the Carpathian.
Yes. And I do have a clip of him here talking about the ozone layer and it being not good anymore.
Please.
The shield. 25 years ago, it was our savior. But now, no sun, no stars.
What is that voice?
Heat and humidity.
Heat and humidity. Yes, master.
The energy from the whole world.
Yes, master. It rains the energy.
Going backward. Old cars, old planes, old dreams.
Did I say cars?
Is worse than the disease.
The cure is worse than the disease, because they did a big thing where they made a shield.
Around the world.
That with the first movie too. What I think is hilarious about this is like, obviously he doesn't speak English. He speaks more now, but he still in neither movie sounds like he has a French accent, and I'm so confused.
No.
Yeah. Although I love his accent in this movie.
Oh, fuck, it's really
so
something.
A choice.
It's a bunch of choices.
Yeah. And so he's
on the line.
He's working with Alan Neyman for whatever reason to build this shield to stop the ozone layer.
The ozone layer is deteriorating. It was a very hot topic in the 90s.
Yeah.
The ozone layer, don't use aerosol cans. And a good thing we fixed it. And
no more acid rain.
And so to be clear, that was 25 years after they fixed the ozone layer, and he's going to the opera, and there's people like huffing oxygen on the street.
And the opera is the new wrestling shot. There's a big almost
I loved that. I loved that in the first one we start out in a wrestling, and now in the second one, because it's elevated.
Yeah.
Now we are at the opera.
Yeah. We've grown up, Highlander.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, well, have a little Highlander adventure. And then he's like, yes, I remember 500 years ago. So also all of this, all the Highlander business, literally, like it was, you were really led to believe that it had been going on for like thousands of years. Right? Ramirez really gives that vibe when he shows up, and he's, but no, it's like literally like, that's like week 2.
Yeah.
That's fucked up, because I thought it was time immemorial. I thought like
it's
that this was one for the ages. Not something that we thought of last Tuesday.
The sweet fuck jumps the hard smash into Planet Zeist. Where his name is still McLeod, because he's from Space Scotland, I guess. And he's still Ramirez. What the fuck is this?
Yeah. And we cut we cut there, and the first thing that we see on Planet Zeist is Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez, and here's a part of his speech.
Free men of the planet Zeist, hear me. You gathered together in secret for the last time. You suffer under the yoke of General Katana's rule for the last time.
The yoke.
You stand without a leader for the last time.
Will you lead us, Ramirez?
No, I'm not your leader.
No.
But because I see with eyes different from yours, I see a man with a great destiny before him.
And that's McLeod, baby.
Whereas you probably see some kind of an asshole.
Yeah. And that's when he chooses McLeod to lead a rebellion, and then the rebellion happens immediately.
Yeah. And is immediately ended. Like now y'all are going to Earth.
And the General Katana, we should say, is Michael Ironside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Michael Ironside in the smilingest portrayal of a villain I've ever seen. Like it's
Snake
amazing.
Squishing Ironside.
It's amazing.
Not the only thing he squishes in this movie.
Like my heart. It's like the only stage direction they gave him was just be bigger than Clancy Brown.
Yeah, I dare you.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger than Brown, and he was like, "Okay."
Yeah. Like, can you do anything that's really unsettling? Well, I look weird when I smile. How's that?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Children cry when I smile.
So there's there's like a whole fight scene and all this like stuff, but then they all get captured, and that's when Michael Ironside is like, "You're gonna go to Earth,
and your name's McLeod, so we'll send you to Scotland."
Scotland, because it's Scottish sounding.
I'll send you. How do they pick?
Yeah,
it's like, well, your name is Ramirez, so I'm going to send you to Egypt.
Mm-hmm. And
because remember, he is Egyptian.
Yeah, and I, like Casey, loved that they made the decision to be like, actually, the prize is that you like. Everyone is on Earth who is a Highlander has been banished there, so it's like there's just like actually just a roaming group of people who've been banished to Earth, and the only
but with a strong connection to each other.
Yeah, and then that's why they're like wandering around trying to kill each other, and then when they do kill each other, the last one will get to come back home, and it is a really ridiculous and stupid thing to do, but I don't mind. I like it anyway.
Honestly, I kind of loved it. I love that we went up to the planet Zemulon.
Yeah.
And sure. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say that probably ever. I love that they took a stupid idea and just push it over the top stupider.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Like a stupid idea that like unravels half of your other movie.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. I love when a movie is like, oh, you want the sequel to be A? Well, actually, we'll give you B, C, D, E, F, G, and never give you A, and we'll fucking ruin A.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to take a dump
First
on
movie's
A.
This movie is 40.
Yeah.
Eat shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. And so we do get, before they get kind of banished, we get this little exchange between the two of them.
Will we be together on Earth?
Well, not at first, but we are joined in a way that can never be broken. Not even by death.
No.
When you need me,
we are
you only have to
friends.
call my name. I'll always find you.
If I win the prize, I'll be back.
Yes.
He's a snake man.
Yes, master.
The Quickening.
The Quickening.
It sounds like magic.
Kind of. Not really. Don't worry about it. Will you shut up?
I wrote down.
Shut up and go to Earth.
I wrote down in phonetically accurate text, if I win the prize, I'll be back.
He's briefly a leprchaun.
Yeah.
Hey. If I win the prize.
Don't forget Quickening.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, having Highlander on my mind all the time, it's been fun to be 18 again, and anything that anyone is feeling is the Quickening.
Yeah, that's the Quickening.
My daughter's like, my tummy hurts. That's the Quickening.
That's the Quickening. Daddy, I'm feeling real pain. That's the Quickening.
That's the Quickening.
I gotta go. Take me somewhere.
That little girl. That's the Quickening.
Daddy, it hurts.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. That's the Quickening.
That's the Quickening.
I also liked that now that this happens, we flash back to the opera, and he's basically been dreaming this, and he wakes up, and this guy's like, "Okay, time to go, Mr. McLeod," and he goes, "Hey." I don't know why. I was remembering something.
When did he?
I'm not going to tell you.
Why does he remember this now? Is this because he won the contest and he knows all this?
It's a boring opera.
He must have been sleeping for a long time after the opera because they have plastic on the seats now.
Yeah. That's for the splash zone.
Maybe it was like Evil Dead the musical. There's a lot of fake blood in this opera.
And
it's like a war show.
Yeah.
I don't. Why does Michael Ironside send those two guys who look like they're in a Nine Inch Nails video?
Yeah. So Connor goes to a bar. John C. McGinley's on the screen. They're talking about how Virginia Madsen is an eco-terrorist.
Madsen.
And then he's looking, and then McLeod goes, "Pretty girl," on the screen. I don't know why.
Yeah, why? Because he's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, and so then a drunk lady accosts Connor and says, "You covered this guy with puke." I had a question about this because they keep making a note about how she's a nobody. Is she supposed to be somebody that we're supposed to know from like the other movie or something?
The lady who screams at him?
Yeah, because they keep going
she's
like
just supposed to be a disgruntled citizen who doesn't like his creation. I think we're just supposed to find out that his
some people hate it.
Brilliant solution is divisive.
I thought because they said like, "Okay, Miss Nobody, you're nobody that we," and I was like, why are they making such a point about that this is a nobody? And is it somebody
it was a
just
real
in make
subtle attempt to let us know that she was the everyman?
Yeah. Okay, but they're like, "Oh, don't worry, we're gonna fucking go in our own direction here." But who remembers Queen? He puts a little quarter in and plays fucking Queen.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It was a bummer though, because it was just like a little bit of Queen, like it was peppered in the score as well.
Yeah, they got Stuart Copeland to do this thing.
Yeah, which I was surprised.
Yeah, and so then after the bar, he goes outside and meets Virginia Madsen, who's like, "We got to stop the Shield," and then it cuts to Michael Ironside, General Katana, and he's just like, "I got to kill this guy."
Why? So he sends two people down.
Yeah, and they're
on a hoverboard.
People, Greg? Were they two people?
Two little bird boys?
Or were they two little porcupine bird fellows?
And they're always sticking their tongue out going like, "What's
How were these two not more popular? I fucking love these guys. At first, I did not like them at all. At first, I was like, I don't care for these porcupine-headed guys because they felt like that kind of gross, ugly, late 80s
Mario Brothers the movie.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Just like really gross prosthetics and stuff, and then really gross like, we're a couple of skateboard guys who go a lot.
Yeah.
And we're birds.
also, I'd forgotten to mention we are birds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they come and they try and kill him, and he decapitates one of them by running them over with a train.
That was fucking great.
It fucking rules.
Yeah. And again, the Highlander, like the quickening happening when you kill somebody is totally bananas.
Yeah.
They got cars everywhere. They will blow the fuck up. And this guy's just a bird guy. He's not even like the guy.
Yeah. Like it's so busy. So many things going on. All the lightning. Everything's exploding.
Also, right before this happens, he's with Virginia Madsen. And he knows shit's going on. And he's just like, get in the dumpster instead of get as far away from here as possible.
Run away.
Get out of here. Yeah. Why stay in the dumpster in case I survive this? I thought we might bang. Anyway.
Yeah. A good old dumpster roll.
You hang out in the dumpster.
I don't want to lose you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess he uses their quickening, like
and it makes him immortal again.
Because he gets that.
I was wondering. Because you got the first guy, and then he was no longer Vigo the Carpathian. He was young and sexy.
Yeah, because what happens is...
why didn't the second guy make him even younger and sexier?
I don't know.
Like at least a new hairdo.
Yeah.
Shorter or something.
Yeah, something.
But when that first dude gets quickening, and he is like, oh, and there's all this like lightning, this huge gas tanker comes by, and it has like big lips on it, and it goes right up to him and then blows up, and he walks out of the fire. And I was like, I fucking love this movie so much.
I love that so much. And that was so satisfying.
When he hops on the little hoverboard, the flying bird man, I'm like, I love this. I can watch.
I love the flying.
I can watch this for 8 hours.
The little hoverboard, the little wing suit. That was clearly on a series of cables.
Yeah.
But I don't give a shit. Those were fucking cool. And the way it was shot was actually really cool too.
No, this movie also looks amazing, and it has that like it has that like not
that
lo-fi
Mulcahy touch.
It has that Mulcahy touch, but it has that like just above what you can do ambition for like sci-fi, where it's like dusty and gross looking, but like you can tell they're really scrapping by on their budget and doing the best they can, and I love that.
Yeah,
this is the big fuck up of the movie too, is because you can't take me there, and then that's it, and no more Zeist tech shows up for any of the fighting. Like there's no more flying around on fucking.
Those guys should have been chasing us throughout the whole movie. If that's the only crazy tech we're gonna have, it's cool.
Yeah,
I want to see more of that shit.
Have Michael Ironside be on it, not just like more flat-footed sword fighting.
Yeah.
Oh my god! That was the most amazing thing about this movie, is that the sword fights happen in more elaborate places, like on top of trains, but it still sucks.
Terrible. So bad.
Like, Christopher Lambert is not good. He's not good at it.
No.
But there's so much of it in this.
Yeah, and so he kills the second dude with a wire and screams Ramirez and gets all quickening.
Yes. And the first thing he does is he rolls up to Virginia Mets and he's like, "My name's Connor McLeod, and I cannot die. But I can totally bang. So let's
totally."
He just fucking plants one, and he's like, "Let's."
Yeah,
totally. But she's just like, "Hell yeah,
she's like, yeah, fuck yeah,
yeah."
I happen to find men who. I happen to find men who kill two bird creatures very erotic.
I hated the way they went. Wow.
It's
I'm glad you killed
grossed
them.
me out. You took care of them.
It's a pretty sexy meet cute.
Yeah. I also like that we hard cut to post coital, and then this is what we get.
Okay, now let me just see if I can get this straight. You come from another planet, and you're mortal there.
Okay.
But you're immortal here.
Yes.
Until you kill all the guys from there who have come here.
That's right.
Technically.
And then you're mortal here.
Exactly.
So,
unless you go back there, or some more guys from there come here.
Right.
Okay.
In which case, you become immortal here.
Okay. Now, you lost me.
Yeah.
I don't think any of that was right.
Something like that.
Something like that.
I love it.
He sounds like the Emperor.
He's
do it.
He's like, people think I eat too many chocolate bars.
My brother says I'll grow out of it.
But I don't know.
My brother says it's the quickening, but I don't know.
But I don't know. Some people think I chop off too many heads.
Yeah.
I'm a Highlander. I can cut my arm off.
You can't.
so stay safe.
Yeah. I'm from planet Zeist, but you're not, eh?
Oh, I'm glad that's coming back. Oh, you're
my
done,
god.
Eh?
Oh my god.
Oh, there could be only one, eh?
Yeah. And then we also at this point get Ramirez. I guess because he died in Scotland, he pops back up in Scotland, and he's like, "I'm on stage at a play now."
Yeah. Oh,
which is good stuff.
He's just he's on stage during a performance of Hamlet in front of a bunch of people watching Hamlet. And the actor is trying to like work around it, and the audience is like, "We love this."
Yeah,
yeah, it's fucking awesome. Like he just will not leave that guy alone.
No.
Yeah,
the guy's like saying Hamlet stuff, and he's following him right behind his back.
Yeah,
being like, "I don't understand what you're talking about."
But he's antagonistic,
and the audience is like, "Yeah, fuck Shakespeare."
He just dropped in there, and he's being an antagonistic asshole.
Yeah,
I just want to be like, "Why are you being such a fucking pussy?"
Like,
why are you a pussy?
It's an actor's nightmare to have a bully appear on stage and start picking on you for being an actor.
Is that your friend's head? Is he dead? Did he die because you're a pussy?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Come on, fight me, pussy.
Yeah.
He basically like. He basically says, "Listen, I don't know what your relationship was like with this guy before he was dead, but it's none of my business, oink, oink."
Yeah.
Like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah. and then we get Ironside, who's like, I guess I have to figure all this shit out, so I'm gonna jump down onto that subway.
And what the fuck happens when he goes? Everyone else is like bloop, and they're there. He gets fired there like he's been shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
And he goes through the ground. Pow!
Yeah.
Into a subway. Or was he aiming for the subway? Because he clearly knows what subways are, because when he goes through the whole thing and fucks it up and like kills everybody and slams it and he's like, last stop, like he knows what's going on.
He knows all the terminology.
Yeah.
He even says to a child, it's my dream to drive one of these. I've always wanted to, ever since growing up a small boy on the planet Zamflower.
Yeah. I loved this scene so much, where he's just like, how about I drive this so fast that everybody dies?
It was why did they make a subway that can go 500 miles?
I know.
They did not need to do that. And also goes straight out a brick wall. What I did not like, though, was the introduction of children. I mean, I'm being a little bitch about it or whatever, but it really made, like, there was a lady with a baby, and then there was like the little boy who he was like, do you like trains? And little boy was like, I sure do, mister.
Hell yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Did.
So
they're all like hanging off. That was great.
Casey's a little pussy. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like watching children die, you little pussy.
And he like drives it to like some rock. They like crank up some really ridiculous rock music while he's doing it. It's so good.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
We get some good, like, also I think this is around the time we get like the makeover montage with Ramirez, which is amazing.
Oh my god, I fucking love that scene. Like, and not even like ironically, like this is a silly thing to have in a movie. I was like, yeah, fucking wear a suit, dude. That thing rules.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's an hour and 25 minutes, and they spend 7 of those minutes.
Yeah.
Getting a suit.
Getting him a suit.
Yeah. That he pays for with an earring. Like, bloop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy's like, an earring?
Yeah.
This checks out. He's like, immediately like, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. He's like, I've been looking for this exact earring or some shit. He like knows this is worth $1 billion.
I have one at home. I needed a pair.
Mine's under my rad. I can't get to it. There's use the chopstick. Nothing will poke it. It's fucking terrible.
And we also get Ramirez on a plane with like a RoboCop ass satire of a in-flight thing where people are like dying on the like putting oxygen masks on.
I felt that was very weirdly Paul Verhoeven in a scene that in a movie that did not call for that kind of hyper reality thing.
Totally.
Yeah. And he sits next to a woman who only goes.
Yeah.
I loved her. I love that cackling moron.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, everyone had brunette hair or something.
Word, nothing.
She just goes,
yeah.
And he tells her why brunettes are so sexy.
Yeah.
Right in her ear, he whispers. I wonder what he said. Something about a whore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Something real degrading.
Really disgusting. And she's like,
I'm worried that she does not have the cognitive capacity.
Yeah. And then Ironside, I guess, goes to the Shield Corporation and kills a bunch of people. And then they fight. Ramirez and McLeod meet up and have a fun little sword fight.
Yeah, and they still suck at it. And then Ramirez is dead again, fucking immediately.
That guy cannot stop dying. He loves it.
He meets up with McLeod again. And he's like, oh, right, this guy.
Yeah.
I gotta stay in this room while you go.
Yeah. He's like, you want us to break in and stop the Shield, and we'll do that by getting shot to 1 billion pieces.
Which was wicked, and I love huge squibs.
Oh, amazing.
My god, it was fucking
giant
squib central.
So good.
That was the Paul Verhoeven-esque thing that worked.
Yeah. And
clearly, in the meantime, they caught some Verhoeven.
Yeah.
There was a little RoboCop.
They saw 2 scenes of RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the three of them go into a squishy room, head chopping fan trap, and that's when Ramirez is like, "I'll stand here and die for you," and the bagpipes come on.
Pussy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm proud to die for you, you pussy. You're still a pussy.
And I think all that's left is Michael Ironside kills McGinley, McLeod and Ironside battle.
Whoa.
Hold on.
McGinley.
No, he crushes his little nuts first.
Or he grabs him by the balls. He grabs him by the balls and goes, and you hear it. They added a sound effect that goes. It's the loudest, most horrible nut crunch I've ever heard in any film.
Yeah.
and
McGinley.
Oh my God.
John C. McGinley, fucking brilliant actor that he is, he sells that nut crunch really well. Whereas before, when Michael Ironside first decides to partner up with McGinley and he kills that guy on the table by breaking like 4 of his necks.
Yeah.
It was like, is he pulling his mouth? Is he turning his head? I don't know what's happening.
He was doing a lot of breaky stuff. And the guy was just like, okay. The guy just lied there. He didn't scream or be like, please get your fingers out of my mouth. He was like, oh gosh, I guess this is just my job.
Yeah.
Whoever the Foley person was on what's the sound of McGinley's nuts being destroyed? I don't know how you didn't win an Oscar.
Perfect.
Amazing.
It was disconcerting.
It was upsetting.
He threw him out a window by the nuts.
By the crushed nuts.
He crushed his nuts first and then used that as a little handle to throw him out a window.
He falls to his death while his nuts are soup.
Yeah.
He's falling to his death going, good. I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with what's going on downstairs.
That's where the soup to nuts.
He's gone nuts to soup.
Yeah, they did the other way around. There's also a part where McLeod and Ironside are having a sword battle on like a elevator, and when they land, McLeod is all like busted up and he has to like break his bones back.
That was awesome.
That was okay. I like that. There's things in here that could be explored and be like super interesting, like them just like sacrificing themselves with bullets to get into a place wicked, having to rebuild his own body, dynamite, fucking hoverboards and shit. Like there's all this stuff here, but then the rest of it is just like so underthought. And I found myself going like, what in the fuck does Michael Ironside want? Why is that this happening?
Why is he doing this? What? I don't understand.
No.
It's like he's just doing it because it puts a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
Bored as fuck for 500 years. Like, ugh. Who's the last guy we sent down to the thing? Remember when we did that thing 500? Is there anyone left? Can I go kill him?
Yeah.
I don't know. Send the bird guys.
Hey, you know the competition thing we have? Yeah. That Highlander competition thing we have on Earth every year, or not every year.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go down and kill some of those guys.
I guess does he not want them to bust up the shield? I don't know why.
I don't think he gives a fuck about that, but Highlander has to still do that because they wrote part of that.
Yeah, totally. But he does get eventually McLeod chops his head off.
Yeah, and like barely fucking anything happens. Remember when he killed bird guy number 1 and shit with bananas? He cuts off Michael Ironside's heads and it's like it's like nothing.
Yeah.
And like, he goes, oh yeah, right, the ozone.
And
ozone.
Then he walks into the shield thing, and that's when it blows up spectacularly.
Yes. And then,
but then he's still in there.
Ramirez is like, "Don't forget Highlander. You can now."
I have that.
Remember, Highlander, you've both still got your full measure of life. Use it well.
Okay.
And your future will be glorious.
Thanks.
Yeah.
By the way, Highlander.
Remember, Highlander, this thing I never said to you before.
Yeah, by the way, you have a whole life from now on.
Always remember this new plot point.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the more that I talk and think about this movie, the more I want to bump it up to 4 stars in my. I loved it.
Well,
yeah, like there's elements of this that I absolutely love, and I found Connery even more charming in this one than in the first one, and I loved him in the first one.
Like I think that the original Highlander is such an interesting, like the highs of the original Highlander are so high with how amazing it looks and the like ridiculous concept taken just seriously enough in like a dorky way. But the downfalls of the original are when it becomes boring and that it's 2 hours long. And this movie replaces that with like everything is going to be dumb and cool looking.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot shorter, but none of it will make sense. And it's kind of like, I'm like, I don't know.
It's like a tone poem version of Highlander.
So now you guys watching it, knowing to expect not good.
Yeah.
Having just watched it for your first time, like a little while ago.
Yeah.
And you know that there's other versions of this and other things to come. When this dropped in 91, it had been 5 years, 6 years, and we'd all watched Highlander like 100 fucking times on cable.
Totally.
So like really into it, like so this, and then it's over, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, the original Highlander does have rewatchability appeal.
Yeah,
this does not.
No.
Like, this is just.
I will rewatch this for sure.
I don't know that I will. Like, I might rewatch. I might be like, hey, I want to see those birds, those bird fellows again.
I want to see
maybe
the
I'll
first
see
18 minutes.
Yeah, maybe I'll see that on YouTube or something like that. But I'll never watch this movie full through because, like, by the end of it, I was just like, somebody kills somebody, and I don't give a shit.
But you're in luck because now there's a hour and 50-minute version of it.
Yes,
the Renegade. The Renegade.
That was when I realized that was when I was like, this podcast was a mistake.
I almost watched this again. Because I had watched it so early, I was like, I should probably just watch it again before we record.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I watched it the other night and I just had a blast. I'm like, this is totally nuts.
Yeah.
I was so irritated by the end of it. I was like, just end.
I
didn't even like that Michael Ironside anymore. I was like, I was bored of his whole thing.
Yeah. But now Renegade Edition is much longer. And this was meant to, Renegade was meant to like, it's like, we just had it was the studio.
Yeah,
the studio's the problem. Don't worry about it. Look at this. So
I think they really, from what I've heard, toned down the like other planet stuff.
Oh, really?
In the Renegade version?
Yeah, I heard that like they took a lot of the references of them being aliens like gone completely.
Big mistake.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
Maybe.
I know.
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
Remember anything? I remember also being like, no, that's still not good.
I think it like opens right at the opera. I think if I remember what I read, yeah,
it has a lot of this movie in it. So.
Of course,
but this is where we will now.
I would think so.
With the rest and see, and then we'll decide what was best: Renegade or Theatrical. What wins here? What's canon?
I'll tell you where I'm at now. I don't think this movie would benefit from 30 extra minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right? Think that at all.
What if it was just more of the bird guys?
Oh, if it is more of the bird guys, then we're fucking back in business, friends.
Yeah. doing each other's hair. Get that? Like, it's point. You can make it pointier.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Here on Earth, I have something called gel.
Yeah.
Ooh, I have to go. I gotta see this.
We'll okay, so we'll have to do a
and we will arrive at Renegade.
So are we not gonna like definitively end this?
No, this is
this is the definitive ending right now.
Don't ever speak to me again. Do you understand?
Now we're back.
Okay.
We just watched Renegade Cut.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Maybe you're wondering why my voice sounds louder and clearer.
Yeah. It could be a microphone.
Renegade Cut did that.
It's the Quickening.
It may.
Yeah.
God, Greg, have you been quickening? You sound great.
Just try to eat right, get plenty of rest, drink a lot of water, and quickening.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I've been doing a lot of quickening lately.
I can smell it.
I was on keto for a while, and then my shaman told me,
Yeah.
"Hey,
It's the quickening.
Yeah,
it's the quickening.
It's the quickening. Yeah.
Come here, I'm gonna slap your wife."
So this one opens with a text prologue.
Yes.
And it's like, here's a bunch of stuff that you will know if you watch this movie. It's like all stuff that you will find out.
Yeah. They didn't really need to tell us about the big dome and everything because nobody ever shuts up about the fucking dome.
No.
Yeah.
But like, so starting this one, I was like, my first feeling was like, okay, this is better.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, this flows better. We don't have this like, it's so awkward at the beginning of the other one. And then it, you kind of roll into a lot of the same stuff, but except no, we're not aliens anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're just from the future.
No, the past.
Now we're not. Wait, what?
They're
in the past.
Oh, they're in the. Oh,
yeah.
Instead of a space world.
Yeah, and they just muted the last word from Connery too.
Yes.
It's like, free man of the planet. They just cut Zeist off. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Oh, okay, because I knew that we weren't on the planet Flemulorg anymore, but I didn't know if we were. I thought we were in the future because it was still
so very far in the past. And then so there's a new voiceover that tells you what's happening.
Yeah.
And they couldn't find an actor to do it. They just got somebody to be like, so you Highlanders with your powers and
there's some Highlanders, and they're the guys with the powers.
Yeah.
There can be only one, unless there's more.
Yeah. And so there's some of them are cursed with immortality. He mentions anyway.
But isn't the immortality? I thought that was part of the punishment for.
No, they already have it.
Oh,
so there is a.
Oh, but then if you win the Highlander challenge, then you get to die.
Then you can. So you're transported to the future with your immortality. All of you who have immortality
to the past. You mean?
No, to the future.
Well, I just said it was in the future, and you told me it was in the past.
I thought you meant okay.
The world of them on Zeist in this version of the movie is the past.
Yes.
And they are sent into the future.
Oh, and then they're sent into the future, which is 1980s, 1991.
And if you kill everyone like you in the future, then you get to get whipped back to the past.
Yeah.
Oh, and shit, really? So if I kill everybody like me...
Yeah. You'll get whipped back to the past. So there's actually a third version of this movie.
There's a third.
There's a third version of this movie that was released in the UK, and there's a line that explains all of this stuff about the past, where basically what they're saying is the time in the future, or no, sorry. So in the version of this movie where it's Zeist is a different planet, I think this is the version from the script. Okay. They are being sent to Earth where time moves so much slower than here. It's so slow that they're eternal. And the reason
cool.
The reason why he has to send those people, the bad guy Michael Ironside has to send those people to kill him, is because he's afraid that when he kills all the other Highlanders and gets whipped back to planet Zeist, that he will reinvigorate the uprising, because he wants the memory of him on Zeist to be completely forgotten, which will happen eventually because of the time thing. But he's afraid he'll get back before they forget about him, and they'll
this
be like,
seems like information they should have had in the film.
I know.
Yeah, well,
the motive of the bad guy.
You were explaining it, and I was like, "Hey, that sounds cool." And then you explain more, and I was like, "I don't like this now."
So I think general thoughts about the Renegade cut. I feel like the version of the movie that's for me is somewhere between these two cuts, because I like the alien shit, and I do agree that this is better structured and is more of a movie, but it's also almost 2 hours.
It was a way better movie. Like cards on the table, the Renegade one was watchable. Yeah, and I was like, I actually kind of like this.
I think if I was to watch this again, I might put the theatrical on. It's an hour and 20, and it's all the cool stuff.
Like you're missing a whole cool fight at the end.
There's added fights. No.
There's like an actual cool ending. Like the fight at the ending of the theatrical is just some boring bullshit that happens in the middle of the movie.
Yeah. It's a way better structured film, and in the theatrical cut, there's basically what they did was they took 2 fights and turned it into one, and then their clothes just change halfway through the fight for no reason.
Well, I was reading something that because they filmed this in Argentina or something like that, and there was a big financial fallout during the time period they were recording, and so they lost a bunch of their backing, and then the producers just took the movie, removed the director and everybody, edited it themselves, and changed and like took over creative control of the film, and just like X'd everyone out.
Yeah,
and that's why you have this crazy movie that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So then,
although
it was like years later that the Renegade happened, it's like
totally
5 years after or something like that. And that's the director got a hold of his original stuff he was filming and other things, and he fucked around with it to like, this is kind of what we wanted to do.
Yeah. And they remove all of the quickening. They remove any of the stuff that they talk about, like the December installation, because if there were, I guess, in like one of the versions or of the script or something, there's going to be all these different dome control stations that are all named after the different months, and so they were just like, never mind, it's just the dome, not December installation.
Very good.
And so like the opening structure of this one's definitely better, because it's like him at the opera, he flashbacks to Zeist, then he has the fight with the eels, then we flashback, they're sent to the future, and it is definitely like way better structured.
Yeah, it hits the ground running way better. My biggest disappointment though in Renegade Edition is the when Michael Ironside crushes John C. McGinley's nuts, the noise is way less.
Yeah, it's not as like
it was long and extremely crunchy. Which kind of blew my mind that he's obliterated this guy's balls and threw him out a window.
And that his balls made like cracking walnut sounds.
Exactly.
That's pretty fucked up. You don't want your balls to make that sound.
Yeah. That's a director's cut. That sucks. They should not have cut that
No,
sound.
you keep that crazy ball noise in there.
Don't lessen the ball noise.
Yeah.
That's editing 101.
Yeah. In the theatrical version, they really screwed up with the flashbacks. They basically were like, let's put all of this stuff right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So like the flashback to them putting the shield up, the flashback to like the sun rising in 1998. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they put just at the beginning to be like, just explain it to everyone right away, because in the Renegade cut, it's kind of like you kind of get it as you go through the movie. They dole it out a little bit more in a way where it's a little more satisfying and feels like a movie.
Yeah, like this just felt it felt so much more cohesive, like a story. I still will say my official ranking is the first Highlander is way better, but but Highlander 2 didn't even feel like a movie, and now the Renegade cut actually does.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of lines that I noticed, and actually one thing that I was really upset with myself for not mentioning the first time we talked about this, because it was in the theatrical cut as well, was the cab driver. The cab driver is my favorite, my favorite character of this whole fucking movie, because all he wants is for Michael Ironside to meet his sister.
Yeah.
Hey man, you can party with my sister, man. She's crazy like you.
She's in the music industry too, man. Yeah.
I love that guy, because even when he realizes he's made a mistake and Michael Ironside smashes his window, he doesn't really get too upset. He's still just like, oh man, I should have got to college, man.
Dave's not here, man.
I'm like, dude, you've done
it. They do a bunch of stuff in this with like how they know the shield, it doesn't need to be in place anymore. They like go above the shield to figure that out. In the theatrical cut, he visits that Alan guy and he's like, Alan guy just types it on a computer. He's like, shield is fine.
yeah. Atmosphere is okay.
Yeah.
Wait, they did that in the theatrical too, didn't they?
They don't go up.
No, they don't go up.
No,
and, like check it out and go, oh shit, look at this beauty.
No, it's literally.
No. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the. I've never.
Yeah, no, they just kind of plop it out on screen in the theatrical. And this one, it's like a whole thing. He tells them it's fine. You got to find their place to go above, and then later they go and they see the world, and they're like, "This is fine."
Mm-hmm.
It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But in the theatrical, it's like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still not great. but
another of my absolute favorite lines, and I don't remember if this was in the first one either, so I need your help to discern. When he's on the plane, which is definitely, I think, my favorite sequence of all of the Highlander that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Because he's flirting with that moron sitting beside him. And she's she's still just laughing. I think she has a couple more lines, but then the flight attendant comes by and says, "Would you like, this meal or whatever?" And he says, "No, I don't want it. I never eat anything I can't identify." And then he turns to her and goes, "Well, that's not entirely true."
Yes.
So my question is,
he doesn't know how to identify.
Is he talking about pussy? Is he like, "I gotta tell you something, I will eat your pussy, but I will not be able to find it"?
Yeah, he's like, "I don't know what it is, but
you will have to point."
I'll start. You let me know when I get to
it. Is it here?
That's my ear.
Sorry, no, you're in my purse.
Yeah.
That's my dog.
Yeah, there was a couple other things. There's like that psychic cook commercial in the train station,
which is similar to the vibe of the
plane,
flight,
which again is just so much watered down Paul Verhoeven,
big time. Yeah,
and even with the addition of the psychic cook commercial in the train station, it still feels like, do this or don't. Even with two scenes, like, keep doing this or like don't do it.
Because you're not
everywhere or not at all.
Like and when it's Paul Verhoeven, like it's social commentary and there's a point to it, but it doesn't feel like those things are showing us like the decline of civilization. Civilization is so bad that flight videos are hilarious now.
Yeah.
I don't
that
understand.
video is funny, but it does.
But there's no point to any of it. Like it's not showing me how fucking fantastical the future is or present or whatever it is. Everything's just greasy and grimy anyway.
Yeah. And there's nothing else in the world of like the world building they do elsewhere is just, it's a grimy world. And that's it.
but it's face value. There's no I feel like I'm not being taught a larger lesson here. Not even an environmental one, which you would think that there would be an environmental issue here. It being the early '90s and about environmental issues, but it doesn't seem like they're really saying pollution is bad. They're just saying we just put a dome around the world for a while and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
We've heard of the ozone layer.
Yeah,
that really seems like, and we're 90% sure it's good. We want to keep it. We're pretty sure.
Yeah. So I feel like my issue with this movie, with the Renegade version, is when they change the Zeist thing to being a long time ago. I feel like they're trying to solve a problem with the movie of that people just didn't like that it was an alien planet.
Yeah.
But that introduces a lot of questions. It's like, why do they have the ability to time travel? Why are they sending criminals to the future? And the other one, it's like, we're banishing you to another world. That kind of makes sense. Like, where does their technology come from? Like,
do they do this all the time? Like, is this their main method of punishment, or is this one of those kind of outlier judges who, fucking comes up with
a fan service fix. Like everything else was like him just like, here's what how I wanted the movie to flow, but it's 5 years later and he's like, well, everybody fucking hated that alien shit, so let's pretend it wasn't my idea.
Totally. And then they also, I feel like that's the same as with like, well, people don't like that the Quickening isn't the Quickening anymore. It's like we've kind of changed it for this movie, so let's just delete Control F, Quickening, delete it. Yeah, because they don't do any of that. Like, it's a kind of magic or whatever stuff. Discussion.
They do have those. They throw them in there. I think they're just in there, like as a through line.
Yeah.
Like he says, it's a kind of magic at some point, but it really feels like Christopher Lambert then goes, okay, we're not doing it.
But they do that a couple of times. He's like, is it magic? He's like, something, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's when Virginia Madsen runs through everything. So like, you're immortal, but this and that. When he's like, something like that.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. But we're all just figuring this out as we get the daily script of the pages.
I was trying to like a couple of things around. So when they go to the future, when Ramirez is fired into Shakespeare, just like boop, and he's there. Just like the 9 Inch Nails video guys. What do they call eels? They're just like zoop, and they're there. But Michael Ironside is still torpedoed through.
Yes.
Like, does he not know how to use it? Like, I don't understand why
this is the guy who controls the machine. Hates him.
He is fired through the street into a subway.
Yeah,
but hilarious to me. He makes the best of that situation.
He sure does.
Oh yeah,
he's always wanted to drive a train.
So happy, yeah. He knows all the lingo and everything. And I still like the fucking Connery on stage for Hamlet. The dumbest thing about it is that when he realizes that there's no audience and he's like, oh, well, carry on. And he leaves the audience like,
I fucking love that.
They
the
love
audience
it.
is like, oh, a man appeared as if out of nowhere. And he has no idea what and he's fucking up this whole thing that we got tickets from. Oh, he's Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fun.
Is this a part of it? No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the most famous scene in the most famous Shakespeare play. Yeah.
And he just shows up in the audience is like, I love Shakespeare.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah, they're making
the man from the future. Oh, I love this part.
They're making some updates for this kooky world of ours.
This is like those changes they're making to Roald Dahl books. All of a sudden they're putting Connery and Shakespeare. You don't need that anymore.
Yeah. I think that smoothing some of the ridiculous choices that the shitty theatrical version of this movie made, I don't know. I still feel like the version of the movie I want doesn't exist.
I would tend to agree.
You want a third cut,
because this one is too long.
Yeah, and I feel like if you, and honestly, I was surprised that a lot of what was added is just like establishing shots. Like they've clearly made a bunch of kind of like cut together establishing shots with maybe some new special effects they had to whip up to be like, here's where we are, because they don't do that in the theatrical cut. Like there's a lot of shots of buildings and skies and stuff to be like, remember this world is like this. I was surprised about that.
I don't know. All in all, I had a great time. Well, I had a better time.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to recommend one of the two versions to anyone, it's this one. I wonder what it would be like to see this one without having seen theatrical.
I feel like
time I'm like really aware of.
Like I watched
moved
it
around.
My tone watching this one was like, oh, this is not as shitty.
Yeah.
So maybe on its own without context, it would be like, this is shitty.
I have some friends that have seen this version as the only version that they've ever seen, because it is kind of hard to get the theatrical. It's not very readily available.
Yeah.
It's like a laser disc or a VHS and that's it. So I know that those people are like, yeah, it's just like a silly movie that like has a lot of cool stuff in it sometimes. Like it's totally fine. And I don't know why it was for like 20 years said to be the worst movie ever made.
Oh, wait, really? Was it?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it was really panned.
I could see it being panned, but it wasn't any worse than any other piece of shit. The low budget
it was like when this came out in theaters, it was like it's incomprehensible. I mean, they were talking about the theatrical cut generally. We're like,
but even still, like it was a shabby kind of shitty 80s movie, but it was like it wasn't completely charmless.
Yeah, but
like,
at the same time,
stuff to like.
it's the when you have the buildup of a cult favorite, and like here, and you've been waiting years, and here it is, and it ends, and like you when you watched it that you have the Renegade version to go to, and that it didn't really work out, and there's another movie and a TV series, all this other junk, but like when you're waiting for it and then it lands, just like what the fuck. It was so disappointing.
Who are these weird bird guys?
I love the weird. Why they keep sticking their tongues out?
I hate that. That grosses me out anyway. Like whenever anybody in a movie sticks their tongue out, it's like get that thing back in there. But especially them, like when it's like gross 90s, like internet characters. Like, remember internet characters before there was an internet? Like I feel like they were internet characters.
They seem like a Doritos commercial from the 90s.
Doritos exactly. 3D. Like that gross kind of filthy sci-fi. Like everything reminds me of Nothing But Trouble. I don't know why, because like the prosthetics were gross and everything.
And the thing that I kind of think is interesting is like, when Highlander came out, it was like not super well received, but there was people that liked it ish. And then it grew through home video and like teenagers and kids and people saw it. And like it kind of grew in terms of how people enjoyed it. And so it's interesting to me that like when the sequel comes out, it's like even harder a hit of a critical like joke. And people are like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like I was reading something where they were like, this is at this point, Highlander became a complete joke. And I was kind of like, the first one's silly. You know that, right? Yeah. Like
it's not a prestige piece.
No. And it's interesting to me that there's a lot of people that I feel like at the time were maybe like, the idea that it got built up in people's heads that like the sequel's going to be this amazing thing when the first one was so silly. It's like, this one's worse and sillier, but like only by incremental degrees. It's, I don't know.
You're like, I feel like you're splitting too fine a hair here.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess, do you think the original having the sword and sorcery flashbacks be like medievally like allowed people to like, I don't, because that stuff's silly too, but it almost grounds it a little bit more. There's nothing like that in this to cut back to like,
it's way more grounded, which like the idea that somebody is just born on Earth with this kind of thing. And like the tragedy of his life, then like watching loved ones die and going through a period of like almost insanity, like that's cool and kind of like, whoa, that's super fucked up. And then when it becomes this other thing, it's like you take away that element of cool to it, because like Highlander's always been flawed, but has essential very cool ideas in it, or things you can like spin yourself to like beef it up in your mind or whatever,
and that's, I think that is one of the things that fascinates me the most about the two movies we've seen so far, is how different they are in those ways, and yet I like both of them for very different but similar reasons. It's really weird. It's like, because the first movie I love both movies I love the direction, because I think it's just they both look amazing.
They look
but like the last one is like this interesting sort of like high tech meets old tech, and then this one is just like all high tech ambition but can't really pull it off, and that's charming. But there's like two really weird different movies that I enjoy in very different ways. I don't know.
And I don't remember 3. I know I've seen it, but
I have no idea what we're getting in for with these other movies.
I know.
No, but I'm, after having watched Highlander 2 fucking twice, I'm just happy for a new movie. I'm just excited that I'm not watching this one again.
Well, there are other cuts of some of the other movies.
We'll watch those too. Not saying not in for the punishment that we've chosen for ourselves.
I don't think we need to.
No,
I mean, the next Highlander 3, The Sorcerer, is basically.
You said that like Connery's going to be in the third one.
I know. I wish
he's not.
I'm wishful thinking. Mario Van Peebles instead.
Yeah, there's like a PG-13 cut and an R-rated cut that's only like a couple minutes longer. So we'll just watch the R-rated cut. We don't need to do
No.
I was just trying in my head. I was like, oh, Mario Van Peebles replacing Sean Connery, and then I was like, okay. I was like, oh, I guess I don't have that much of an allegiance to Sean Connery.
Yeah. And I don't know.
I like Mario Van Peebles a little more than I thought I did.
I don't know, like what do you think, Casey, they're going to bring forward other than obviously Connor McLeod? Like,
well,
how do you think they would approach?
Tonally, like, I would have thought with this Highlander movie, there would have been a lot more sword and sandal, because I think that's the thing that the second one was missing. Like, I think people who like that kind of thing really like that kind of thing. So if that aesthetic is taken away from a thing where you've seen it before, you're like, hey, where's my fucking how come they're not fighting on a hill? So I could like, I feel like that was kind of glaring.
Yeah,
the lack of hills,
the lack of Ireland, basically.
Yeah,
it was Ireland, right?
Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say 6 of 1, but
I guess it has to take place before Highlander 2.
But like, do they re-inject that stuff into it? Like
I don't know.
I feel like they should, because I feel like that's part of the aesthetic that makes Highlander, isn't it? Like, I felt like that was glaringly omitted here.
I feel like I remember something about 3, and I'll just keep it to myself.
Okay.
You are sitting there looking fairly smug about something.
That's my resting
I'm
face.
excited to find out what that is.
Yeah, like I wonder if they will even reference like the ozone thing, or if anything comes
like
from
if
this.
it becomes a lot more environmental.
We'll see, I guess.
I'm really hitting the N in environmental. I haven't said that word in a while, but why am I saying it like that?
Yeah, how do we wrap up Renegade then?
Well, it's the superior of the two, but both are garbage. Both look nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
But Theatrical has a much louder nut crunch. And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
My overall enjoyment of both films was greatly affected by the nut crunch.
Because you're like, I can't understate this.
When I was watching the first one, I'm like, man, this is terrible. You know, I'm having an okay time because it's so stupid. And then the nut crunch happened, and I was like, whoa!
You were like,
That's
I swear to God, if somebody
so
doesn't get their nuts crunched, wait a second.
He's reaching.
It was so loud.
I feel like my version of that is the subway scene.
Yeah,
where I was just like, I think I love this movie.
I do. I love the subway scene so much. Like, it's so silly, and he's just fucking camp to 150.
Oh yeah.
And I hate to be a fucking lame ass safety of children, but but there's a baby
that bother
goes,
you in both versions?
It really did, because the baby goes flying by at one point in the train. I'm like, fuck off, you shitty greasy movie.
It was pretty funny.
Yep.
I don't have that anymore.
I get it.
There may have been a time in my life where I could laugh at a baby crying, but somehow.
Yeah. I get it for sure. Yeah. I don't know. I still feel like my enjoyment of Highlander 1 and 2 are very pretty close. Like, I like them both quite a bit in different ways. Like I said, one of them is just so stupid I can't hate it.
Are we talking Highlander versus Renegade specifically?
Yeah, like 1 and just, I guess, 2 in general.
The twos?
Yeah.
So do you still put 1 over the 2s?
Oh, man, it's so hard for me. It's tough.
It's well over. It's much better.
It's close for me. It's so close for me because
I can see how it could be close. I tend to agree. I think Highlander 1 is far superior.
I love
it's the
garbage.
movie I might actually go back and watch. Yeah, this movie does have more of that and a lot more crunchy nuts, but I still think as a movie,
I think I enjoy the flashbacks in the first one more from a I appreciate these and I love the art and I love that fight in the castle.
Oh yeah.
But I still get that like like whiplash of like, oh, we're back in like medieval times. That's not nearly as cool as cocaine 80s. And in this movie, it's all cocaine 80s.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true. It is square.
But you do also lose
the Dan era.
Yeah. I do. I will say that I find nothing surprising about you liking 2 this much.
Of course. No. I'm honestly very surprised at my enjoyment level of these movies in general. I'm having a good time.
I wonder. I mean, I feel like I'm having a good time because of the circumstances that we've set up. Like, I'm like, all right, well, this has been fucking boring for 15 minutes, but I'm gonna rip on it later, so that's fine.
I mean, these 2 movies definitely sent me on I'm gonna watch a bunch of the dorkiest shit I can find.
Yeah.
So, like, I was like, I gotta go
these
watch
movies that made you.
You watched
no. I watched
You've been
Kroll.
doing that since you were 5.
But like this brand of like 80s.
I can't believe you've never seen Krull.
I'd never seen Krull, never seen Flash.
You've never
Gordon.
seen Krull?
Well, now
I have now.
Now he
has.
But just like you watched Krull like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was going to say Krull is wonderful. I do love Krull.
Yeah, but it's also terrible.
Yeah, I don't think it's wonderful.
No.
I think I like the board game
some
better than I like
some
the
things
movie.
are wonderful. And then you're like, why is this movie so long?
Krull is a very good example of the half of the time this is the best movie ever, and the other half of the time I wish I was watching that other half. But yeah, I mean, Flash Gordon was great. I mean, that movie rules.
I've never seen Flash Gordon.
What?
Dude, it's a lot of fun.
What the fuck? You should watch that.
Yeah.
Why would I watch Flash Gordon when Flash Gordon exists?
Yeah, true.
I've seen the superior version.
Yeah.
That's not true. I've never seen Flash Gordon either.
I also watched Ice Pirates.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Which is pretty fun.
I love that movie.
I haven't seen Ice Pirates since like the 80s, but I loved it so much when I was a kid.
I rewatched it about 10 years ago or something, and I was like, yep, still good.
Yeah, I remember those 10 years ago when you watched it, because I remember you saying it was still dope, and I'm like, yep.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yet, though.
So 2 things that surprised me on my dork movie journey.
Yeah.
I revisited Masters of the Universe with my mind being like, I remember that being a terrible movie, but like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched it and I was like, I don't know if I was in the wrong mood for it or something, but I was like, I don't want to watch this right now, like half hour in.
It's not fun. It isn't fun.
I feel like it doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
You know, like it just, there's no life to it.
Once you get away from Eternia, which is already like, it's a crushing disappointment in general, Eternia and the whole world, like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Who are these? You had such a great rogues gallery, and there's like all these like, made up dudes. And then when you get to present day with He-Man running around, it's just like,
yeah, in my mind, I think that's going to be great.
It's unbearable. It's not fun at all. It looks it looks like shit.
Yeah.
I like Frank Langella as
very good.
Yeah, pretty good.
The only other one that I wanted to mention was so I've seen Solar Babies a lot on mute.
Yes, I played it a lot on mute. Yeah,
I watched it not on mute, and that movie rules.
Yeah, not bad.
I don't think I've ever seen Solar Baby. I've seen 5-10 minutes of Solar
I legitimately like it.
Behind
it's
me
awesome.
at the bar, and that's about it.
It's kind of like underrated, I feel like, because it's like a laughable movie, but like it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
I think I thought when Solar Babies mixed up with Space Camp. Is Space Camp a movie?
Yes, it is, and it is boring as fuck.
Yeah, I think I get the two of the. Yeah, so then I think it's Space Camp that I saw, because when I think of Solar Babies, I think of a shitty movie I don't want to watch.
Yeah, no, Solar Babies is like super fun. When I was a kid, I loved Solar Babies. That was so cool. And I saw Space Camp because I'm like, yeah, space.
Yeah,
and then I was like,
you were a simple child.
Yeah. It's like telling somebody well, Christmas is coming up. What are you interested in? Like, I like Star Wars and spaceships. I really love spaceships. And then somebody buys you a book about, how the space shuttle was made, and you're 8. That's what Space Camp is. Yeah.
That is a very specific, crushing disappointment.
Yeah,
where somebody's like, well, I know you like Star Wars. So here's an astrology chart.
Yeah, totally.
What?
Yeah. Space Camp
I
is
meant
like
to say astronomy, but my point stands.
That's what Space Camp is. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
No point in watching.
I feel like there's got to be a whole bunch of other nerdy shit like that I gotta dive into. Yeah. I've never seen Your. Should I watch Your?
Yes. I've been trying to find a copy of Your that'll work for our Thursday night movie.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because it's very silly. It's like,
I don't know what Your is.
It's Beastmastery. It's somewhere in between Beastmaster and Conan, but much dumber than both.
There's a part in his Soul Coughing song where he goes, Your, he's a man, he's a man. Does that have anything to do with it?
I think maybe.
I hope so.
Okay, cool.
You're the hunter from the future. I think that's like a pretty like cheapy Italian exploitation version of like Anyway, we could do a whole side thing someday about maybe if we get into bonus episodes, we'll do Krull maybe.
Yeah, I would love to do a Krull episode while we're in this world.
I'm very happy to talk about Krull. But for me, I think most of the experience is the board game. Have either of you ever played the Krull board game?
No.
I don't remember it being much more than a very standard board game. Like, I don't think there's anything special about it, but I love playing when I was a kid.
I remember my friends and I cutting out of cardboard like something that was supposed to be his thing and just throwing that at each other. That was
nice.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my friends and I threw those at each other.
All right, well that's it then, I guess, right?
That's it. Yeah. So,
I guess if people out there want to find us, we're on anchor.fm/TCBOF. We're on YouTube, TCBOF, and we're on Space Hay.
Yeah, Space Hay. Can you plug the Space Hay, please?
Spacehey.com/TCBOF has everything you need.
Go there now.
Next time you're scrolling Space Hay, which I assume you probably even are right now, look us up.
I don't think you do very often, Casey, because I commented as there could be only fun on your Space Hay. Hi, Casey, and you never responded.
Whoa. I haven't been on there in a bit either.
And
I'm going right now.
Broke my heart.
Oh my God, Dan, I had no idea. The problem is the app is so spotty.
Yeah.
Space Hay.
And there's so much other stuff that you were on Space Hay that you were distracted by.
Well, it's just there's a lot going on. I'm literally one of almost 100 people on there. So, yeah, Dan, I'm sorry I didn't get to you.
Yeah. We did get a friend request from somebody, and I clicked on their thing, and it was a very spooky, like what do you call it? Like
Predator.
Copy pasta, like creepy pasta style person. It was very weird.
Oh no, was it Jeff the Killer? I've recently learned about Jeff the Killer.
You listened to Freedom? Is that what that was on?
Well, yes, of course.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
I gotta make my own Space Hay account so I can follow us. And I don't want to miss out on our news.
That's what I did too, and now I don't. Now I miss messages from Dan.
Yeah, and I did post a blog from our Space Hay that just said that we're making a podcast.
Yep,
we'll be back soon.
Upwards of 30
signed
people.
Up. I have signed up.
Space Hay, do it.
I'm doing it. It's that easy, kids. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
Agree to services? You bet I do. Submit.
And while you're on Space Hay, remember to never talk to me again.
Don't ever speak to me again. Do you understand?
I'll eat your pussy if you tell me what it is.
Nice.